Today's video is brought to you by Cujo Yardwear. I've been wearing the Cujo shoes for many years now. Absolutely love them. So check out this coupon code here, and thank you so much to Cujo for their support of lawn enthusiasts everywhere. Well, it's always good to get that first mow done. I don't know if there's any actual real stripes today, even though I'm wearing my Let There Be Striped shirt. I did do a double cut, and I didn't show that on camera just because I wanted to get through the second cut fairly fast and not move cameras around and all that. We lost a slight bit of color off of there. I was actually a little longer than I had hoped before I was going to do that first mow, but it's been so wet, and even today it's pretty muddy out there still, that I didn't really want to mow, but I was getting to that point where some of the grass was getting close to 3 inches tall, and if I'm cutting it down to 3/4 of an inch, that's quite a bit of grass to come off there. So at the beginning stages, although you wouldn't want to do this all the time, it's okay to shock it just a little. I wouldn't do it if it was 90 degrees out today, but if you got some cool weather, some more rain on the way, or you can water it after that, it will start to adapt a lot better at the beginning than it would if you let it go to 3 inches for a year or something, and then all of a sudden you cut it to 3/4 of an inch. That will be a very different story than what I'm doing here today. Definitely also needs a light overseed, not a huge deal though. I should be able to get that done hopefully before a bunch of more rain comes. For being as old as it is, it's very nice and smooth out there. I don't see any major bumps or anything going on with that either as far as levelness, so looking forward to continuing this in the next few weeks. So we're a few days past that last mow now, and I'll show you here that things have been maturing very nicely. But now we're getting into crabgrass season, so things have been a little warmer. We're giving this thing consistent rain or consistent irrigation. And now, although I put down the starter fertilizer with some weed preventative in it, it doesn't usually catch everything by any means, and it just really depends on timing too of when this stuff pops up, if that has already worn off in the soil. So right now I'm seeing quite a bit of crabgrass. There's probably some foxtail in there too, because I've had a lot of that here at this property too. So what I want to do today is get a spray on this with some quinclorac right when this is early stages as far as the crabgrass goes, and hopefully we can get some control on that before it starts to mature and become a bigger problem and start to take over the rest of this yard. If I just leave this right now, just let everything go and let it mature, most likely, from how much I'm seeing in here, there would probably be a lot of crabgrass here in about a month. The earlier that you get on this, I did a video last season about crabgrass, about how a lot of other weeds are mistaken for it, so check that video out here. I'll link that. That is going to help you to understand what this might look like, and using something like quinclorac here on the early stages is going to be a good control. Try to get a handle on this before it becomes a massive problem. The label on this calls for long sleeves, long pants, and rubber gloves. These are chemical resistant gloves. You need to make sure that you're following these label directions. They are important. I'm going to put about half my water in here first. This is still my backup sprayer because I haven't figured out another solution on my battery powered one. Then the label rate for what I'm going after, which is crabgrass, on here says 1.45 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. So if I do the math and I'm doing 4 gallons in my tank and 4,000 square feet, I'll have to fill this again to do the rest of the front yard, because I do have 5,000 square feet, but my sprayer is 4 gallons, so that means I'm going to need 5.8 ounces of this. Then this is methylated seed oil. This is going to help to coat the leaf of the weed so that you get better control. So you want a full, nice, even coat of your spray onto the leaf of the plant. This is recommended within the label as far as using methylated seed oil if you're going to use something like this. So this is 0.55 ounces per 1,000, so that comes to, for 4 gallons, I would need 2.2 ounces of this. Pour the rest of this water in here. Although I really do not like this stuff because it stains everything, and it's just one little bit of it, you get anywhere you don't want it to be. It seems like it's such a pain, but because the sprayer is pretty new to me, with this nozzle that I put in here, which seems to be acting a bit differently in this sprayer than it was in my backpack sprayer, I'm going to add a little dye to this so that I can hopefully see where I'm spraying and get a better sense of making sure I have good even coverage. Like I said though, this stuff is terrible. Oh yeah, I mentioned the blue stuff. Just barely got any of this on my hands and washed them off immediately. Hate that stuff. A couple observations here. So one is I definitely need to get myself a different backpack sprayer if I'm not gonna be able to fix my other one, because pump spraying this whole thing manually, not exactly the most fun I've ever had in the world. Now I know that is absolutely a first world problem too, but those backpack sprayers, once you get used to them, it's a luxury that you just don't want to go away from. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Secondly, I'm just hoping that I got pretty good coverage. I think that I did today, but we're gonna find out here in the next week or so, probably 2 weeks, to figure out what might be left, if I need to do some more spot spraying or what kind of application I may need to do one more time. We're gonna see. Hopefully I got a lot of this on the first try, and that's going to take care of it, because what else might pop up here in the soil, we do not know yet. And that was the whole thing about spring seeding. So if you haven't watched any of those spring seeding videos, just a quick recap there is that you can definitely do a spring seeding for cool season lawns, but you're going to likely end up fighting a lot of what I'm doing right here, where there's going to be some weeds that invade, especially if you had a bare soil or you brought in topsoil or something, and you didn't do the process of killing that off and letting weeds come back and then killing it off again and then planting like you would in the fall. Then you just never know exactly what's going to happen. But overall, pretty pleased so far with the progress here, and we'll just keep you updated in the next few weeks to see how things go. I really appreciate you watching. I hope that helped you if you're having a similar situation going on a spring seeding. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.